Are you still punishing your child? I may have a better way for you. Listen in, I have some tips. Here it starts right now. Let's look at punishment and discipline like this. Punishment usually inflicts some type of pain or hurt. It's taking away something to cause some type of hurt, making someone feel a certain way so that they don't do something again. A lot of times punishment is in physical means, hitting or whooping. And this again is inflicting pain. It's trying to teach a lesson through some type of pain or hurt. Discipline, on the other hand, is teaching, trying to teach a lesson, trying to actually raise the level of cognitive awareness in that child, trying to get that child to understand a level of why something is happening and something maybe shouldn't happen. That's the main difference that I talk about when I talk about punishment and discipline. Now, many people choose punishment because, let's be honest, it's pretty easy. The child does something, you can punish them. You sit in the corner, be quiet, or I'm just going to lash out and hit this child. Don't do that. Bow, I pop them, right? That's quick and many times it's effective in the short term. So right there, you're creating some type of fear. And so you've created this hierarchy of, if you don't do what you're supposed to, or if you don't listen to me correctly, I will hurt you, physically even. And so that could be effective, definitely, in the short term. While you're right there, they may be afraid of you, and so they will not do what you want them to not do while they're right in front of you. But when you are not there, when they leave, when they're in another place and that fear isn't overlooming on them, then many times the child will do what you don't want them to do. Now, on the other hand, when you come at it from a teaching angle, when you help your child cognitively create more awareness in them, and so that they understand why they may not want to do the thing that you're trying to advise them against. When they can understand for themselves and start taking ownership to recognize why they may not want to do something or why they may want to act in a certain manner, then they can make these decisions for themselves even when you're not there. And that's the kicker. It isn't the fear that's controlling them. Instead, it's the understanding of the world that is going to help them regulate their actions. And so teaching is a much more effective tool in the long run, and it's much more pleasurable. So I tell parents a lot of times, think about how you want to be treated. These children, your children, are people. They are people just like you. They have feelings. Imagine how you feel if someone tries to control you all the time. Yes, imagine how you would feel if someone lashed out and just hit you when you made a mistake or did something that they didn't like. That abuse would drive you wild. Well, don't do that to your child. And so you have to think about it sincerely. These are people. Your children are people. They're not just things that you have control over. Yes, you need to guide them. Yes, you need to help make decisions for them so they'll be safe and so that they can flourish in the world. But they are people, and treat them like people. So remember that when you're thinking of, am I going to punish or discipline my child? Choose teaching. First thing, discipline can include things like limiting activities or limiting privileges or even taking certain things away, but it has to make sense. It has to match. For example, I had a friend and his son continued to leave his bike out in the driveway after he would play with his bike. His son loved playing with his bike. Problem is, my friend comes home, tries to drive in the driveway, and the bike is right there. So he has to get out, move the bike, and then put his car in the garage. Then many times the son would actually even leave the bike outside in the yard overnight. And so he wasn't taking care of the bike, wasn't showing responsibility towards the bike. And so punishment many times would look like this. Oh, son, you didn't bring your bike in. You didn't put your things up. You're not being responsible. I'm taking your phone for a week. Or, son, you didn't put your bike up. I'm grounding you for a week. Son, you didn't put your bike up. You no longer can ride your bike ever. Punishment. you're trying to inflict some type of pain or hurt. This is a thing where you're trying to make him pay some retribution. Well, you could go with the discipline route and the teaching route. Same thing. Son is leaving the bike in the driveway and not putting the bike up at night. So now, son, do you understand that a bike is a responsibility? Sure. I really know how much you enjoy riding. And so me knowing how much you enjoy riding your bike, I want to not only help you be responsible with your bike, but I also want to help you learn how to take care of your bike. So son, if you are not going to be able to put up your bike correctly at night and place it correctly in the garage, not in the driveway, so that people can use the driveway, we can drive in, so that your bike doesn't get damaged or even stolen, then you will only be able to use your bike when you're able to be supervised. So we can help remind you to put up your bike so it'll be safe. That supervision time usually for us will be between 5 and 6 o'clock on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays is when we have the time allotted to be able to supervise you on that bike. Would those times work for you? Or would you really like to give a great effort into putting up your bike each time that you use it? Now, the second way may seem extensive, but to truly have your child understand that first thing, you care about their activity and you're supporting their activity, then you're giving your son an option. You're giving that child an option saying that you could just do the things and show ownership and responsibility for the bike, or if you can't, then we're going to only have to be able to use the bike when you can be supervised. There are times when you'll be able to use the bike because we respect that you want to use the bike and you love using the bike. So these times are going to be between those times that we stated. So you give that child options. You don't put that child in a total corner and berate them and attack their character or say they don't care about things or accuse them of things, but instead you explain to them how you feel about the situation and the things that you can do to help them so that they can learn how to adequately take care of the bike and their other property. I have another example for you. Had a friend who had a teenager who always wanted to stay out late. Now, one time she stayed out late and the father learned later that she was drinking and partying in a place that she shouldn't have been. And so there's again 2 ways you can come at this, the punishment route or the discipline route. So the punishment route usually looks something like this. The father finds out that the daughter was at a party and was drinking, underage drinking, very dangerous, matter of fact. You went out drinking, you were underage, that was completely dangerous, that's uncalled for, you're grounded for 6 months, you give me your phone, no social media, and no, you're not going to soccer practice, right? You may have heard this before, this might have even happened to you before. So that's a lot of times what it looks like, again, punishment. Discipline-wise, it could look like this. You know, it worries me when there's decisions being made by you that could affect your life in the long run and the short term. Underage drinking is not only a dangerous thing, but you could also get in a lot of trouble and it could affect your future right now going forward. I love you and I care so much about you that it hurts me to see you put yourself in that type of situation. I would love for you to be responsible like I know you can and like I've seen you be. If these things are going to continue to happen, then you will be able to go out, but your mom and I will have to be with you to help make for sure that you're making good decisions and that we support you in making good decisions. We love to trust you with a curfew of 12 a.m. It seems like when we're doing that, it's setting you up for a different type of risk factor. And so we need to scale that back maybe to 10 p.m. So again, giving options, and sometimes it's too far to where you can't give all the options and you need to go straight to the supervision, but letting that child know there's light at the end of the tunnel. Remember, punishment versus discipline. Punishment inflicts some type of pain. Discipline is about teaching. Which way do you think you should approach challenges with your children? If you like those parenting tips, make for sure that you like and subscribe. There's more videos and there's more learning to go. We do this as a community. Make sure that you comment, tell me tips. I love to learn more. I love to spread more information around to all the listeners and all the followers. So thanks again for spending some time with me. Imagine love with your family, y'all. Peace. If you liked our discussion on punishment versus discipline, make for sure that you like and subscribe to the page. There's more videos, there's more learning, and we do this as a community. So make for sure that you comment. If you have something for me to learn, if you want me to discuss a topic, I got you. I will make a video about it. Remember, imagine love, y'all. Peace.